On behalf of all current refugees, arrivals and all other refugees from Burma who have now made Canada their home, thank you. Thank you, Canada, for your kind reception and help and for giving us new hope and opportunity for a much better future, a much better life.
Since September, a current refugee who has languished in a refugee camp for more than a decade has arrived in 10 communities across Canada, including Ottawa.
As a community, it's so important that we welcome our newest community members and that they know that we're here for them.
The first new arrivals of Karen refugees to Ottawa, you are certainly in very, very good hands.
We welcome all of you with open arms, and we're proud to have you in our country and in our city.
I was absolutely appalled to learn that Wadu and his family and Laba had been in the camp, the Maya Un camp, for 14 years. And I've never heard anything as awful as that. There are what, 140,000 people and refugees in 9 camps along the border, the Thai border.
More than 150,000 refugees, mostly Karen and other ethnic minorities of Burma, still remains in 9 refugee camps along Thai-Burma borders. Approximately 1 million people in Burma have become internally displaced persons, IDPs, and more than 3,000 villages has been destroyed by the military in past 8 years. Because of lack of access to medicine and food, humanitarian crisis is looming in Burma.
A large number of Karen and other ethnic groups have had to flee Burma due to conflict and human rights abuses. The Karen have faced torture, imprisonment, forced labor, the burning of their villages, and forced relocation in their homeland. As a result, there are currently over 140,000 refugees from Burma, mostly Karen living in 9 border camps inside Thailand. Many of them have been there for up to 10 years. In fact, the younger ones were born in the camps and have never been seen their homeland. According to United Nations Refugees Agency, UNHCR, this is the largest refugee population in Southeast Asia.
We cannot even begin to imagine what it feels like to be ruled by military dictatorship and forced to flee our homes, fearing detention, prosecution, or death. We can't possibly know how it feels to live in limbo, wanting only to return to our families and live in a safe and free environment.
As Amnesty has said that torture has become an institution in Burma, murder, rape, detention without trial, massive relocations, forced labor. Burma is probably one of the worst dictatorships on the face of the earth, as everybody here knows. Can you imagine, for example, that under the military regime's policy, they have a thing called the Computer Science Development Law, and it means that if you have possession of a fax machine or a modem, you can get 15 years in jail if you have it without permission.
Because of atrocities such as forced labor, forced relocation, and various forms of human rights violation committed by the ruling Burmese military junta, they had no choice but to flee to Thailand-Burma borders, leaving behind their lands, homes, and belongings.
The laws are what the generals say, and they can change from day to day, as you all know. Some of the worst forced labor abuses are coming now from the south of Burma, where $1 billion pipeline is being developed by the American company Unoco and France's Total oil company. And I think we're all pretty concerned about that. 5 decades of brutalization and human rights abuses by successive military regimes, ladies and gentlemen, are enough. At last, the UN Security Council has put Burma on their agenda. as of the 15th of September, and one hopes that it's going to stay there until the country becomes a democracy. Whether it's nearly 1 million displaced persons, or I think it's 200,000 refugees, whether it's ignoring the HIV/AIDS problem, or the narcotics trafficking, or trafficking in persons, the regime is one of the worst of the remaining 45 dictatorships on the face of the earth.
Right now, if you look out the window, you'll see a Vietnamese restaurant. And before 1979, you wouldn't have seen a Vietnamese restaurant there. We have a very rich Vietnamese community here in Ottawa, and that's because the Vietnamese refugees were welcomed here.
600 refugees from My La Un camp, because that was the figure that was we were initially told was what Canada was willing to consider. We submitted more, and to our great delight, the Canadian immigration decided to take all 800. And we're working again with the Canadian authorities, the Canadian government, to see if we can also bring more refugees from refugee camps in Thailand.